Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Rambling. Hope y'all are doing well. In my community page, thank you for the questions. Got them all. I think I have them all written down. That car, the Rambler, was a 1966 Marlin. Yeah. The other thing I put in was a new song to get stuck in your head because somebody said, yeah, that last song of the Mavericks, I couldn't get it out of my head. And it was Waiting for the World to End. And I went, oh, that's not good to have stuck in your head. Although it kind of feels like that may be happening. So I put in another one. And this one's a way better song to get stuck in your head. And it's called Ride With Me. And I wasn't going to put it up, but Psychic Duck said, yeah, ride with me. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. Hello, everybody. Oh. Whoa, Psychic Duck wanted to jump out of my hand. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. All right, Psychic Duck. Have you ever been in a 1966 Marlin? Psychic Duck goes, I don't need a Marlin, I fly. I got wings. All right, let's get into a little bit of energy before we get into the crazy week that was, right? It feels like our world is being pulled apart in strands. It feels like we are in uncharted waters. All of our alliances are coming apart. Everything, it's like we're in, in uncharted seas. It's what it feels like. It goes, are we going to get out of this? And for me, I'm going back to the world ending. We got to be happy in our space right now because we're waiting for the world to end. No, let's ride. Let's ride it. Let's ride with me. So the deck I'm using is this one, Starstream Oracle, and the Galactic Heritage deck, which I don't have my book nearby to show you. But anyway, the card that I pulled from the Starstream Oracle is, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Auko. And this says, what does it say? A sacred gift is coming to you. So with all this crazy, all this being pulled, things being pulled apart, a sacred gift is coming. And I went, oh, interesting. So I had to do some research on this. I'm going to read a little bit from this. It says, focusing on this gift will lift your spirit and give you strength and resolve. Fear will not overcome you, allowing the magic to do its work. This gift may not be in any form, not just material, and it might even be the wise counsel or a love from an ally. Love from a duck, maybe. Just saying. So what is Auko? A-U-C-O. It's an immortal that is sometimes called a mountain fairy. Nancy Jean and I are going to be doing a show on elementals and fairies, and I'm not that tapped into them, so it should be kind of an interesting show. And when we're not tapped into it, it just means that I have not given it enough attention to really connect. So I got enough things to put my attention on. So, it's all good. But what this card is about is this mountain fairy magic. She hooked up, and I'm really shortening this, with this dragon energy, and together this dragon and she had 100 eggs, and it gave birth to 100 eggs. So mountain fairy's going, hey, I want to go back up to the mountains. Dragon energy goes, I want to go to the ocean. So they split up. They took and they divided their children 50 and 50. And she went up to the mountain. He went into the waters. Hang on. Okay, so when she was up in the mountain, a drought threatened her people. And so Aku appears in a tree with a magical jade talisman and a mantra to dispel fear and to drive off reptoid human-eating monsters they would encounter. Wow. All right. These gifts would allow male and female to travel under the sea to the Dragon King's palace and obtain help from him. A sacred gift is coming. A magical gift. Okay. Because we are dealing with this magic, and this is what the book referenced was that we are that we have two different species, and some would consider alien species, coming together and seeding human form. That's what this book says. And I'm like, alien species coming together? Well, then let's pull the Galactic Heritage cards to find out what more we can get from this gift. What we get from the gift, the first card I got is the Founder's card. This is the Creator's card. 1. This is what is the source of all. It's unity consciousness. The second card I got, and I pulled 2 by mistake, I got Abandonment, and that's because we're feeling so alone. We're feeling we have this feeling from when our galactic friends left us on Earth. We're going, hey, don't abandon us, don't leave us here. And so we have this abandonment feeling. Oh, no, don't do that. So maybe that's why we hang on to things too tight. I don't want to abandon it. Maybe, right? And the next card I got is Conservative Attachments, which is kind of the same thing. We're holding too tight to things that we should let go. The bonus card I got is Spiritual Technology. This is the Vega mysticism. So when we think of the Felon Leon using his SpaceX technology, this is spiritual technology where we get to use crystals and globes. So we get to play in a higher level vibration of spiritual technology. That's the gift. That's the gift that we're receiving. I like it. Okay, let's move on to some lower level vibrational stuff. And let's ramble with some news. What do y'all think? Some of y'all may go, I'm out of here. Some of you might have already said, I'm out of here. The decks I'm going to be using are BLUESKY and the Light Seers Tarot. All right. Notes. The people in Australia, hang on. Big cyclone is hitting you guys. By the time this video gets up, it'll probably be landfall. So, all right. South Queensland, I think. So. Did I say Libby had a great show on um, Musk and maybe his possible downfall? When she did that, I was going, yeah, this is it. It. And then when, because I'm excited, oh yeah, the downfall. And then I thought, it's just not one thing that's going to get him down. It's multiple things. But his stock is tanking. I think it lost 50% of its value. And I apologize if I'm repeating myself. I had to start and stop the video. The SpaceX is lost another satellite, blew up. They still were able to grab this main rocket, I think, I think that's just really cool. I'm a geek with that stuff. I think it's really, really cool. I think Tesla cars are really, really cool in a way. I think the owner of the company is... Psychic Duck told me to watch my beak. Be nice. Not nice, but just not put it out there. So I won't. All right. Maybe we'll take a look at that. But let's take a look at Zelensky. Let me just make sure I've got everything going on here. Before I get into that, props to Al Green, the representative from Texas. During Trump's Tuesday address to Congress, it wasn't the State of the Union. He was only talking to one people. He was talking to his base. And a lot of the Democrats chose to hold fans up with fake liar or something. I'm like, really? Really? That's it? And then some others wore pink. Al Green wore black. I'm like, all right. And I think I'm not that familiar with him, but I think he wears black a lot. I think that's like his mode, what he likes. But he stood up with his cane. I thought he was going to smack old Pumpkinhead right in the stem. But, they go, no, they threw him out. But thank you for standing up. He got censured, which is just like, shame on you. But there was 10 Democrats that stood up and agreed with the censure. And they go, and I fight with my hillbilly brother about this all the time. Well, not all the time, because I used to agree with him. The office, the halls of Congress should be respectful. But it's got to be both sides. And you have MTG and Boober, screaming out during Biden's speech. Was it the Democrats that were so feckless that they didn't, hold them to account and say, get out of here? I mean, we're not playing by the same rules, and it kind of drives me nuts. So, Al Green, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for standing up. We need more. We need more. And for us that are watching, we get lost. We get lost in the waves of uncertainty with all of this. Just know we got a new gift coming. Use our spiritual tools to make this change. Okay. I want to look at after Zelensky's meeting. The EU has really come together. And Ooh, holding the deck as I'm looking at that. So, and I hope, I got to do that. Ooh, so silly. So I got the Six of Cups, and I got the Sword of Truth. And I don't even know if I need to cover up the naked parts. I don't think my videos are getting blocked, but free speech, you know. Another thing. Al Green was doing free speech, and then immediately after he did that, Pumpkinhead goes, "We have free speech." No, that's not free speech. Free speech is standing up. Protests. Okay, we'll get into it. All right. Rant, stop. Okay, let's look at the safety of the world. So, the U.S. has control over a large portion of nuclear weapons in the world. Now, Russia has its, China has its. I'm sure they haven't given the U.S. any control over that. But the U.S. has control over a lot of the European Union's nukes, so I heard. I didn't know that for sure, but that's what I heard yesterday, except for France. And Macron said, you like the way I said that? Doc taught it to me. Macron said, we have independent nukes, and we will, if need be, defend our allies. And that just gives me chills. But thank you for standing up, and thank you, Trudeau. Two lame duck leaders, because they're on their way out, right? Standing up to the bully. Thank you. So, we got three people standing up and a duck. Three people and a duck standing up to this tyrant. I wouldn't want to be the tyrant. Duck revenge. Wow. Oh, and side note, sorry, I'm really rambling. The cups. Thank you guys for saying, yeah, you want a cup. I'm looking for a big, heavy diner mug cup. And the YouTube merch stores, I haven't found one yet. So I'm looking for it. I did find the diner mugs. I can put a logo on it, but I can't figure out how to get it shipped out to individual people. So I am working on it. I'm going to need some of that duck magic. Aku magic. Fairy magic. Mountain fairy magic. Here we go. The world. It seems like the U.S. is pulling its nukes. So we have Russia and U.S. I keep feeling that the military is going to go, no. Let's just take a look. Are we headed? What's the military thinking about Trump's strategy? And what, Hegseth, is he the guy in there? Oh, thank you. What are they thinking? Let's move on from this. This is too heavy a burden. Okay. What are the generals that control the military? Do they have safeguards in place? Like Miley called up China at the end of Trump's last term. Oh, they're... Ooh. Okay. Bunker. Oof. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, let me just keep going to see where we're going. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hopes and fears. The Lotus. Queen of Cups. Okay, let me drop this down and we'll try to make some sense out of it. So I have the Five of Wands being challenged, covered by the Emperor. Is this Russia or is this the Pumpkinhead? At the base of it is celebration, the Three of Wands. We have a new beginning. We have holding on to our resources very tightly. I like this card in that respect, but again, it looks like he's hiding in a bunker. That's what I didn't like. And then we have loss. And I get this loss is from our allies saying, we can't trust you anymore. Luckily, no Tower cards. We just have a lot of verbal back and forth. We have the Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands, which is feminine information coming. This is like a NATO-ish card to me. It's weird. Every time I read, I get the hiccups on this. So there's some kind of energy that is hicking up me. We have the Queen of Pentacles in the external position, which is security, comfort. We have the Queen of Cups in the hopes of fears, Queen, Queen, Queen. And then we have the Knight of Wands, riding on strength, carrying a big stick. So the question was, what is the world, what are they thinking about, us with are the generals protecting some of this nuclear stockpiles? And to me, what I get, these generals, I get so much divine feminine energy with this. Three of Cups, super divine feminine energy. So it feels like calmer heads are going to prevail. No Tower, no death. Yay, yay, yay. So are we headed towards world peace? That's a big question. I'm just going to leave it down. Are we headed towards world peace in our lifetime? Are we headed towards world peace in a unity consciousness in our world? How about that? Are we headed towards a unity consciousness in our world? So when we go back, okay, I got to lift it up. Squirrel moment. Good squirrel moment. When we go back to the original card, the energetic spread, what was I forgot her name now. The Mountain Fairy. She's bringing a gift, and the gift was the Founder's card. The Founder's card was unity consciousness. So that's the question. Are we headed towards this, come on cards, they don't want to shuffle, this unity consciousness in our lifetime, world consciousness, where we're not pitting one against the other? Okay. Maybe I didn't shuffle these enough. Doesn't feel like it. Different order. Let's drop it down and I'll show you what I got, and maybe I'll redo it again with the light seers. So what I have here, are we going towards unity consciousness? We're working at it with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles. We are working at it. Somebody is digging into this. the higher, the Vega mysticism gifts of spiritual technology. We're working on it. We have a new emotional start being covered by this dedication to work. The underlying thing, what we're marinating in, is the bickering back and forth. I don't like you because you have a different hair color than me. You have different tattoos. You have different piercings. You have different colors. Behind him is the Emperor. In the past, he's no longer relevant. But at the top of the reading, another 5, loss. Pentacles, loss of funding. It's just being out in the cold. But in the potential near future, we have a new queen coming in. And this feels like a queen that is allowing some mysticism to come through. And I always think that I feel like this is overseas now more than ever. And you can see the pyramids in the back here, if you look closer. So are we going towards a unity consciousness on the planet? Yes. Internally, yes, that's what we want. Externally, we're still in illusion delusion. Do I really like blue hair, pink hair, that piercing? Stupid little stuff, right? Or we need to pick the right cup. We're picking the wrong cup. The hopes and fears is the Knight of Cups. This is information coming from an unexpected source. Ooh, I just got ET energy when I said that. And again, going back to the original reading, the original pull, we have dragon energy. And then the final outcome. Are we going towards unity consciousness? We get the people raising the cup to the rainbow, to all colors. Yay, yay, yay. So even though we have these 2 5s, 2 5s make a 10, and it goes back to nothing is nothing in itself is bad. Hang on. But if you take 2 bads, they equal a 10. 2 5s equal a 10, equal a celebration. So we need to feel this divisiveness, this confusion, so that we can fix it, so that we can make it right. What do we want to focus on? Do we want to focus on the divisiveness, which will bring us more divisiveness? Or do we want to focus on the 10 of Cups, the 3 of Cups? So we do need to be aware of it, because for me, it's allowing me to be maybe more generous with my thoughts of, for example, we have a lot of panhandlers now. We're going to get a lot more. And before, it'd be, I'd kind of like go, okay, they're always there. They're always there. Can't they get a job? Blah, 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 blah. Bad thinking. Bad choice on my part. Now, it's like, I don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. I know what it would be like for me to stand on the corner. I wouldn't like it. So I would appreciate it if somebody would help me out so that I could get off the corner. I mean, I did some pretty crazy jobs that I didn't like. One of them, I sold encyclopedias door to door. Oh my God. That was horrible. And then I sold toner on the telephone. That lasted a week. And I go, oh my God, I'm scamming people. And then I ended up working for a company that I sold to. And a year later, while I was still working there, my boss comes up and goes, hey, Danny, I was working for a production company in LA. So I was one of their gophers. I was a runner. They call them production assistants. I was a runner. And they go, would you run this back over to this company? We don't want it. And I go, okay, what is it? I go, oh, it's toner. So I had to drive the toner back to my old boss. Hey, boss. Hey, Danny. You want to work? No, I want to give you this. I don't want it. I don't want it either. Well, that was so funny. That was funny. But yeah, I felt bad because the first time I realized that I was really scamming somebody, I called them. I called this one person back, and they go, "That woman doesn't work here anymore. We fired her because of what she bought from you." And I went, "Oh." That was my last day at work. So, I don't know where I went with that, besides south. Okay, let's move on. So it feels like we're going to be okay in the world, right? With nukes and stuff. It drives me nuts that that the European Union is spending more money on weapons. So, all right. I have a couple of questions, then I'm going to get to your questions. We're going to start going a little faster. Talked about prayers for Queensland. They're getting hit. I hope I said it. If I didn't, prayers. Stay safe. I was watching Libby and Lena, and Lena was going, I don't know why they say go into the bathroom. She says, they say it's the safest place. I don't know. Go in the bathroom. Number one, if you get hit by a cyclone, that'll probably scare the crap out of you, and so you're already in the place. You don't have to go anywhere. Number two, the bathtub is got three sides that are really, really strong. Really strong. If you put a mattress on top of you, speaking from tornado land, that will protect you a little bit more. But normally bathrooms are really small, so they have a lot of supporting walls that'll give you a little more support than like a big open room with glasses, windows and ceilings that can crash down on you. So, respectfully, and I never ever want to disagree with either one of those two women, but respectfully, because I grew up in tornado land. We get the Star of Hope. That means they're not going to beat me up. Yay! Thank you. All right, and hopefully it's going to mean that Cyclone isn't that bad. Tesla, their stock. It was a high of 479 and it dropped to 251. And I think I mentioned, again, I'm sorry if I repeat myself because I had to redo the video. Libby has a great video on Musk. and how a lot of, and it rang really true with me, a lot of his, a lot of these heavy-duty billionaires are heavily leveraged. They have a lot of loans out. So unless you do Bitcoin. Yeah, Trump wants to do a Bitcoin reserve, which it's just all about funneling money. Let's look at that Bitcoin thing. Is there going to be, now I'm going to read your questions. Bitcoin, are there going to be safeguards into Bitcoin? You know, down in the Cayman Islands and I think Switzerland, and even in, is it North Dakota? There are really secure laws saying if you put money in our banks, nobody can look at it. It's like really safe and secure. So Bitcoin is kind of, you don't know where it's going, which is why a lot of the criminals and drug dealers use it. And traffickers, they use it. Oh, and that was another thing that happened this week. Trump let 2 traffickers back into the country and put them in Florida. Even DeSantis was pissed. Bitcoin. Is this going to cause huge problems to the U.S. economy? Bitcoin. Is this going to cause huge problems? What do we need to know about Bitcoin? Yeah. Giving and receiving. It's like you can transfer it really easy. It's not, that looks like it's not going to be too wide. People aren't going to jump on it yet, I don't think. Because it's just like one of these things that are not that understood. Yeah, it's... So there's going to be some changes to Bitcoin from what I see. And in this, right now, it's too easy to hide money in there. There's going to be an evolution. We have the Wheel of Fortune. There's going to be an evolution with this that is going to help us. It's just going to be an evolution. And I read on this last time with digital money, and we're all using digital. So when we wrap our heads around it a little bit, it's going to be good, it feels like. But there needs to be some changes to it so that there is some accountability to where this money's coming from, how it's backed. I mean, you have these memes right now. I don't understand it, but you know, what Pumpkinhead is really good at is grifting. You know, why doesn't he just figure out how to grift and fix the debt? Why doesn't he do that? I know why. Because he's a pumpkinhead. All right, let's look at your questions. I got 20 minutes to answer all your questions. All right. Oh, somebody... hang on. Okay, so my first community page post didn't allow comments. So I got an email from Catherine. She goes, once convicted and removed, will all the executive orders be immediately rescinded? So being the election denier, truther part of the alliance that that I'm in. I still, and it's getting a little foggy for me though, but I'm still reading that Kamala Harris has a huge role in the future of our country. I'm still seeing that something is going to happen this month to next month on Pumpkinhead and Elon Musk and how he cheated. I think too that when, backing up a little bit, when Trump said Elon wasn't in charge of Doge, and that this other woman from Mexico that was vacationing in Mexico was. And then he called Musk out on Tuesday in front of the nation, said he's in charge, and then he backtracks it, and then he goes, so it goes back and forth. Immediately there was a brief filed that said Musk is in charge. Trump said so. So the judge is going to look at this. Judges are getting pissed. And they're going, you guys are jacking me around. Us. And not the Jack Smith around. Oh, I can't wait for him. Do you think that Jack Smith kept a copy of all that material? I do. I go, would he let it go? I think he still got it. We could look. I don't want to look at it. We'll see. But when the courts get this and they start saying, who's in charge? Let me get people who work in Doge, big balls. Let me get these guys in here under oath, and let's see what they have to say. Now, I'm not sure if this is federal or if it's state, because if it's federal, because of Pam Bondi, I've got some, but if some people come out, especially the 20 that quit Doge and say, yeah, we have information on Musk stealing the election, that's another piece to the puzzle. So I think some of the pieces that are falling in place is Musk falling from grace globally with SpaceX and Tesla, saying he's not that great of a businessman, but that doesn't matter to MAGA because Trump was never a great businessman. He was a great grifter, but everybody thinks he's playing 4D chess. Also, the European Union and NATO have a big role in this. So the more pieces that we can get from different sides that corroborate what went on, the better. If it just came from the Democrats, it would have been blown away. Yeah, forget it. If it came from NATO, it'd go, yeah, okay, maybe, but it was another country. If it comes from inside Musk's team, ooh, that's almost like coming from the Republicans, which I had talked about before, where it feels like it needs to come from inside the Republican group. And I think other readers got that too. All right, so I'm looking at this, but I'm supposed to look at my phone. So will all this be rescinded? And so I think that Kamala Harris is going to have a huge role. I've seen her, in my mind's eye, in the at the Oval Office after it's been highly cleaned and bleached and saged. I wonder what she's going to do to clean it. I've seen her have one sheet of paper and say they are all rescinded. All executive orders from this point in time to this point in time are rescinded. I don't know if she could do that, but that's what I saw. It was just like a sweeping. Why waste time? Why waste time signing individual executive orders to counteract the ones that were signed? Just do a blanket. Okay. So I like to pull cards, so I'm going to pull cards on that. 3 cards. Will all the executive orders be rescinded? Fast. Fast. 8 of Wands. Knave of Wands. New information coming from a little bit of overseas. This is what Libby was talking about with the Saudis and Elon Musk and Money Trail. But this is information coming from overseas. So fast information. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is, will all the things be rescinded right away? If I'm not looking at this as a Republican legacy card, this is looking like taking care of the family card, the USA card, and it's got all the pentacles in one group. So I say yes. You guys make your own interpretations. Grab your cards. Grab your pendulums. Let's see what we get. All right. Hello, Danny and Psychic Duck. You know, you're becoming way more popular than me. And your hair doesn't look... Oh, sorry. Got in trouble there. All right. Do you see financial aid for students going away? I had never thought about it. You know, Biden forgave a lot of that. I think it was through executive order. Financial aid for students. Do you see that? Going away. Financial aid. I think they're talking about the forgiveness, the debt forgiveness on that. Do you see that going away? If they can do it, they will. Huh. Not great cards. You got the Judgment, the Release, the 7 of Pentacles. When I look at this, though, it's more of the person receiving the financial aid. It's like it's put them under such strain and such burden that, you know, their money tree, it's just like all the money's going to, you know, financial aid. And then I have loss. So do you see it being reversed, taken away? I do, and this goes back to, but for how long? This goes back to me having a really hard time reading on things like this. Do you see it being taken away? Yeah, it might be, but it's just going to be reversed again when the new administration comes in. You know, the rightful administration is going to come in. I don't like reading on long-term Trump administration because I don't see it in play. All right, Gary, I like the car. Few big things happening, getting ready to happen this month. Ooh, great, everybody, pendulums, cards. I feel by the 14th in the end of the month, what does Psychic Duck have to say? I know some of you are going, Danny, you getting a little jealous over Psychic Duck? No, I'm not. I'm not. Psychic Duck's going to have its own coffee mug, though. I'm not. Thank you. Psychic Duck said, just said a little nice thing in my ear. A little quack. All right. What's going on by the 14th? Gary wants to know. By the 14th to the end of the month. Let's just look at the end of the month. What is going to happen at the end of the month? So what we want to do is clear the energy. I'm going to grab a little bit of water. Oh, sorry. Oh. After he said such a nice thing in my ear, I knock him off his perch. Come on back up. Come on back up. Thank you. You're welcome. You all right? Yeah. Did it hurt? Hell no. Here we go. What is going to happen by the end of the month? What's going to happen? Oh. Uh-oh. That is not Psychic Duck falling off the water jug. It's not. Did I tell you this is for entertainment only? Death. For entertainment only. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Moving on. Okay. Ooh. Somebody's getting their head chopped off. What is going on? All right, can't wait to see what y'all get. Okay, all right, here we go. Dropping it down. What's going to happen at the end of the month? Woohoo! Well, we got the endings. And this is also a beginning card. You know, once you have that death card, and then we have a burden. We have to walk the walk. Now, this isn't physical. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. We have the Six of Swords moving on. I don't have any other, you know, like illness, sickness cards per se. But we do have the burden of carrying the load of this new beginning. At the base, what we're marinating in is a new way forward, a new balance. Young, female, Page of Pentacles. New security. It's not as strong as the Queen. As we move, keep moving in truth. That's in the past. So we've got the Truth card in the past. Moving on to calmer waters. That's going to end something. It's going to be a burden. We still have this choice that needs to be made. This Two of Swords. Potential near future. We have somebody getting their head cut off. This is the King of Swords. Legal information. So, normally this is a Jack Smith card, but this could be so much of our legal system just going in, and I mean they're being overburdened. This could be somebody. What I just heard. This could be somebody that defies a court order and says, "Oh hell no." We have still winning at any cost. And we have people that aren't listening to the truth. We have somebody that's not listening to the truth. Externally, we have a new emotional start. Hopes and fears that our ship will come in, will go out. It's like still wondering, still thinking, what do we do? How do we manage this? It goes back to this. And then the final outcome, we have a queen sitting in a lotus pond. We have the queen sitting in the lotus. A queen sitting in a lotus. What do you think, Psychic Duck? Let's pull a clarifier on this. Oops, I'm wrong deck. Slow-moving knight. Oh, come on, I want it faster. Battling windmills, defending oneself. Four of Swords. This goes with this death card. This is a retreat card, get quiet card, and then we have new information coming. New information coming from, this is my NATO card. And more yelling. At the base of the deck, we have a new beginning. We have standing up for truth. We have going back to a simpler time. We have managing Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and we have the completion card. Gary, thank you for that question. And as I wrap that question up, what is going to happen? We are going to be getting more and more information that the rightful POTUS is the Lotus, is Kamala. We're getting more information on that. Now this endings and beginning with the death card, something is shifting, big shifting. So, all right. Thank you, Jen. Okay, Heath. Jen says, I believe Tuesday began threatening to withhold federal funds from colleges who allowed illegal protests. Any protest concerning him is illegal. Will he go through with his threats of deportation, jailing people, and so on? You know, everything that he's doing is not working out. He talks a good game, but he is always backtracking. He's creating so much chaos that, you know, we're like running around like, oh my God, the sky's falling. It's not. I go back to the initial spread. Use our what did it say? Spiritual technology, our psychic abilities, crystals, wands, magic. Use that we have to get clear focus. So he flipped on tariffs. Trudeau stood up, yay. Macron stood up, yay. And again, Al Green, yay. Mexico, he backed off on that. He backed off on Canada. Canada still says, screw you. We're still keeping the tariffs in place. So, but let's just look. Will he bring in martial law for the protesters? I like the way that they said, don't even go to these town halls anymore. AOC goes, well, if they're not going to go, I will. Let me know. I'll show up in a big red state. Deep, deep red. I'll show up. If they won't, I will. Yeah. Bernie's doing it. Will he jail? What's going on with the protests as far as Trump and using the might of the U.S., which seems really weak right now? I know we're the most powerful nation in the world, but it feels like he is just watering it down with all these other nations that are stepping up. If we can stay unified, which the readings did say we would, it's great. Well, it's not great that we have all these weapons that we can kill us. And I heard ET stuff. Walking the road. A protest. Walking the road. Tough. I got to get going because I'm almost at an hour. Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, Tower. Star Hope. Wild ride. Is he going to use, he wants to. It's going to be challenged in court. Final outcome is strength. Walking away, High Priestess. I'm going to redo this because what I'm getting with this, it's that he's sitting in this energy. Let's blow this up. However, we do have some legal pushback on it, and final outcome is strength. And that final outcome with strength card is what I'm concerned with. Is he wanting to show his strength? Is he wanting to show, look how strong I am, I can do this? So strength, or is it the strength of the protesters? And I get both, but I think the protesters are going to be safe. I think there's going to be legal challenges, but I also am feeling there's a lot of worry with this. The Hopes and Fears card, I got the Nine of Swords, and in this deck, the swords have blood. Think Kent State. I was around for that. Okay, what is this strength card about with Trump and protesters? What is the strength card about? Coming together, Two of Cups, giving and receiving, new emotional start, the difficult path, wild ride. What is this Death card? I mean, Tower card, Strength card. I meant, gosh, what's this Strength card about? It feels like it is to that the protests need to be strong. They need to stand in strength and in unity and in protection. Okay. It's going over an hour. Nancy. Maybe this is how we all become local, meet our neighbors. It's easy to kill things you don't care for. Is this insanity going to help us leave the big box stores? And will we be so poor we will break bread together? I don't think this is going to devastate the economy. Unless you own Tesla stock. My neighbor up the street. Before, super progressive. But it felt like he was he's a very techie guy. He likes tech. And he was going, oh, Danny, buy Tesla, buy Tesla. I'm so glad I didn't. It was like $400, $500 a share. I'm going, can I buy a half a share? But he bought a lot. And he sold his dad's house in the Palisades before the fire. A month later. So he was buying Tesla stock, and now he probably lost a whole bunch if he put a lot into Tesla. So, economy. Are we going to be so poor? I do feel us coming together as okay, getting back to Nancy's question. It feels to me like this is another COVID time, but it's artificially made. It's a Pumpkinhead made COVID, like the last one, but only different. But we're going to start realizing that we don't need the shiny objects, that we don't need new. Is our economy going to crash? Is our economy in the next 6 months, is it going to crash? Oof. Uh-oh. Well, at least it wasn't the tower. Please, no tower. Let's drop it down. We'll look at this real quick. So again, I'm always looking at the death card as a new beginning. We are moving on from death. We have a lot of opportunity in this country. We are focused on the cups that are spilled. We are not looking at the 5 full cups on this 4 of Cups card. We have a completion. We have the world. I think the world is going to be suffering too a little bit with this. Overseas planning. Oof. It's going to cause a lot of worry. For sure, for sure. But that's because we're all focused on the 3 upside down cups, not so much the abundance that we have. Yet people aren't listening to things. Are we going to have a crash in the economy? Wow. Wow. It's not going to be good. We have the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Cups. This is like really a sadness and loss, emotional downturn. Oh, the 3 of Swords and the hopes and fears. And the final outcome is hang on. Don't be spending money unwisely. However, rely, this is what Nancy was asking, rely on your neighbors and your friends. And I hear you guys. Yeah, I'm alone. I don't have blah, 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 blah. I hear that. I hear that. But if you can, rely on your friends, your family, the community that you have. We have justice coming. We have balance coming. We have the King of Wands, new information, and we have the Star of Hope. So I'm not going to say and sugarcoat it that it's going to be great. But hang on. Hang on the best you can. The best you can. I get so many emails and comments going, I'm living on Social Security. I am living, I need my Medicaid. I need my Medicare. And they're trashing it. And it's going to go through the courts. And some people are going to get caught up in this. We will. But please reach out if you need to reach out to your spiritual family, whatever that is. Organized religion, I am not a big fan of because they want you to believe in one thing, and I want you to believe in one thing, but the universal law of one, where everything is all interconnected, not one deity. Okay, let's keep going. Do you see Trump gone by April? Didn't we just kind of read on that? Didn't we get Kamala at the end? I think so. So, thank you, Lisa. And then top, amen to that. I think I got it. Oh, here's one. Last month, prosecutors were dropping charges against 2 defendants on the document case. Will Jack Smith report Part 2 now be released to Congress? I don't get that sense at all. Let's just do one real quick. Does Jack Smith have copies? Does he have a thumb drive? I say yes. for me, I'm one of those guys. You may think I'm a hoarder. And I may be. How many dive tanks do you have, Danny? 10. How many bodies do you have, Danny? 1. How do you dive with 10 tanks? I just like them. Sometimes I dive with Psychic Duck. I know. Psychic Duck does not need a scuba tank. I was diving in Channel Islands, and the boat lost an anchor, and so we were looking for the anchor. A group of us were looking for the anchor, and I'm diving with a buddy, and we're covering this big space. And one of the few times I dove with buddies, I always had my buddy was my camera. They go, "You dive with a buddy, don't you?" Of course, buddy. Anyway, and so we're scouring, going back and forth, and we're doing this parallel track. We turn around and come back, and and so I look over at my buddy to make sure that we're still inside of each other, and here's this cormorant just swimming between us, and he looks at us, looks back at us. I go, what the? Where? I look at my gauge, we're at 60 feet. I'm like, oh my God. It was so funny. He's just swimming with us. Oh, and by the way, if you are new to diving, do not dive by yourself. I am not advocating that. Always dive with your buddy. I always do. Now I dive. I don't. Okay, scroll moment. What was I going to read on? 1:22:22. That's what the time said. Maybe I should just leave it here. Oh, Jack Smith. Does he have a thumb drive? Does Jack Smith have a thumb drive? Does Jack Smith have all his documents saved? Because I do. I have all my old files saved on an external drive. Does Jack Smith have a thumb drive? Yes. The Lovers. Yes. Justice. Balance. Yes. King of Wands. In the past, writing in as a winner, I'm just doing 6. We have Just Judgment and the Final Potential Near Outcome. I like this card. The Ten of Swords. All the information he has. Normally, the Ten of Swords, this guy's being stabbed in the back, stuck. He can't move. Face down in the earth, stabbed in the back. These swords are just stabbed in the earth, and the guy's walking away. He's going, you didn't get me. I got swords, I got thumb drives. They will be coming out. Okay, guys, thank you all for watching. I will probably not timestamp this. Too bad, because I think we got some good stuff in there. But I appreciate you all. Peace and love.